Thomas is a great missionary, and he has been doing a very focused youth ministry, particularly among the Mishing people of Assam. His approach is very comprehensive, and his methodology is very unique, and thousands of young people have been benefiting from his work, especially the poor and the disadvantaged. And I'm sure that what he does will be a model for many of us, especially Salesians, in order to do a very focused and comprehensive youth ministry. And I thank Pushpalata Milli for taking the initiative to prepare this documentary, and I'm sure that it will inspire many people.
Many people profess to live for others. Very few live so to the fullest, totally and deeply committed to their happiness and welfare. Such people are rare, and Father K.A. Thomas is one of them. A person who went beyond stated mandates in response to a call deep within, to work for a holistic development of a whole community that was on the periphery of the society.
Okay, do the maximum in the time 20. It is not time, it is the amount of work, the amount of study.
Unseen, unheard, and isolated. Recognizing that only a multi-pronged approach centered on youth can make any progress in the socio, economic, cultural, political fronts.
We have developed various systems of serving the poor young people of today. I got a little frustrated, discouraged with what is happening in our Salesian ministry, in our schools. I always thought we were privileging the already privileged, and I needed to move out of that line of thinking, line of action. So in 2000, I publicly announced in Don Bosco, Bakchung, that I am moving out of the walls and want to walk into the open field, serve the people who are not being helped in our schools, that is, privileged, the underprivileged.
Father K.A. Thomas was born on 5th September 1956 in Karikattur of Kottayam district in Kerala, into a very religious and hard-working farming family. At the age of 12, he left home to travel to Shillong in Meghalaya to join the Salesians. Xavier Juniorate, Maulai, became the first home away from home. There, together with his classmates, he excelled in a number of fields besides studies: art, crafts, language, typing, and everything else that stimulated the curiosity and brought out the potentials of young Thomas. This was the hallmark of his formation days and also later years. Always learning new things, trying out creative ideas, engaging in challenging pursuits. He was never one to be satisfied with the ordinary. He was and is one who creates and scales new heights and walks the untrodden, unfamiliar paths. He learned new languages, edited magazines, wrote articles, composed songs. To constantly push his boundaries further and further to be relevant and effective in the ministry with youth and the community. He proved to be a much appreciated teacher and friend.
My first ministry in Dibrugarh, Don Bosco School, that was a new sort of beginning. Of course, there was also an initiation into my, let's say, second birth, and that is as a Salesian. And I had to understand more Salesian way of life, Don Bosco's way of life, and what it meant to serve the youth of today.
His thirst for knowledge on religion and culture led him to live in the Notun Kamalabari Satra in Majuli in 1983 to write his thesis.
There are two lessons I learned from this Satra experience, and I will never forget them in my whole life. One is about spiritual life, which they call Nama Japa. Later I found in our Christian tradition there is something called the Jesus prayer. And so I took this idea from the Satra monasticism. The second lesson I learned is about the attitudes. The Satras, they maintain what they call Dasya Bhav, the servant's attitude. And that also I picked up from the Satra in 1983.
On Neo-Vaishnavite monasticism for BTH degree from Sacred Heart Theological College, Shillong, inspired by Father Paviotti.
মিলি কৰিছে আমাৰ লগত ধুতি পিন্ধিছে চুৰিয়া পিন্ধিছে আকৌ চেলা কাপোৰ লৈছে নামঘৰত গৈছে
যিখিনি কথা তেখেতে কৈছিলে আমাৰ এইটো ধৰ্মৰ লগত সেইটো ধৰ্মৰ যে সম্বন্ধ নাই সেইটো নহয় প্ৰত্যেক ধৰ্মৰে সম্বন্ধ আছে আৰু সেইটোকে বুজাবলৈ তেখেতে চেষ্টা কৰিছিলে আৰু ময়ো আমাৰ ধৰ্মীয় কথাখিনি কৈ তেখেতক আমাৰ ধৰ্মৰ পৰা বুজাবলৈ আমি চেষ্টা কৰিছিলোঁ
Father Thomas was ordained a priest on 26 December 1983. A big day of grace for him, his family, and the Salesian congregation. His first posting as a priest took him to Don Bosco School, Dibrugarh, at a time when the Assam agitation was at its height. With all the agitations and social tension running high, it was almost impossible to run and manage the school in the expected ways. But Father Thomas proved his mettle as an effective educator and administrator and a people person in those troubled times.
I'm privileged to have been associated with Father Thomas right from the time of my ordination. My first appointment was to Don Bosco Dibrugarh, where he was the headmaster of the school. Much before I reached the place, I got a card which said, "We are waiting for you, welcome." And I did feel that it must be a good place to work at and good people to work with. And I proved right. We did a lot of things together during the 3 years we were together to reach out to the young people of Dibrugarh, beyond those who are just coming to the school.
He gained many admirers in the town for the many innovations he introduced in and through the school. His students loved him tenderly and even now continue to be his loving friends and supporters.
I had met Father K. Thomas when I was in class 8. That was in 1988 when I first met him. He came here as the headmaster of Don Bosco High School. Initially when he had come and joined us, we were a little bit scared of him, looking at his persona, his tall stature and his long strides. Like he was a strict father. But gradually as time passed, we grew more closer, and then we realized that he was a totally different person. He had a different approach to us. He was very much approachable, and he taught us many new things. Like he tried to bring out the leadership quality in us.
Don Bosco centenary celebrations in 1988 was a well-planned and highly educative event in Dibrugarh. Father Thomas personally guided the script and the songs for a dance drama in Assamese. A first for a priest who had also completed his graduation in Assamese. He started the Bosco Memorial Evening School for the children of the Tea Garden around Don Bosco School in tribute to Don Bosco, the friend of the poor and abandoned.
Evening school was started in the 1988 by Father K. Thomas. So this getting an opportunity to learn something, and we are very thankful to Father. At least he has taken some steps to help the underprivileged student.
He inspired the day school students and their parents to contribute to the expenses of the evening school. Bosco Youth, the association of the alumni, was another landmark. Besides music, sports, and quiz competitions, the Bosco Youth also managed the night school for the parents of the evening school children who too wanted to learn to read and write.
K. Thomasok ami palu hol class 5 and he was all along till 1991. Also because the best principal I could ever have because তেওঁ যেনেকৈ আমাক যেনেকৈ strict আছিলে তেনেকৈ he was a very lively man also. আমি তেওঁক এটা ইনস্পিৰেশ্যন হিচাপে চাইছিলোঁ কাৰণ আমি যিমান বস্তু শিকিলোঁ he was the main force behind it.
He introduced computer education and computerized school results when computer literacy was yet to catch up. He started the SME scholarship examination for schools in Dibrugarh. Activities under 14 different clubs introduced the students to learning beyond curriculum. The list is too long to contain all that he achieved as a much admired and deeply loved headmaster of Don Bosco School, Dibrugarh.
He was very friendly, and it was nothing like that he was the headmaster of our headmaster. Any problem, any issue, we used to go to him and he used to always have a solution for that. So and still, that friendliness, that attitude, that cordiality is still there. So that's why all our students, all our batchmates and the others who have studied under him are always maintaining a very good relations, and he's an inspiration for us.
His transfer to Sadia was a watershed event. As he himself says, when I put my uncertain feet into the meter-broad rickety boat, I had no idea that I was going to enter into the world of my love, to which every other interest would be subservient.
Since 1992, I came in contact with Father Thomas while my kids were admitted in St. Thomas High School, Santipur. He transformed this whole area of Sadia, not only Sadia, Golaghat district, Dergaon, Majuli.
That journey in a rickety boat into a world of broken homes, torn clothes, messy surroundings of a strong-willed, love-enriched, and self-contented race gave birth to the Father Thomas of today, the apostle of the missings, the founder of ICARD.
As a headmaster, he used to be very busy in the school organizing competitions, and all kind of activities were also organized in St. Thomas School. But still he used to always find time to visit villages, the village churches, village people, organizing different cultural programs or catechisms or anything that needed at that time. And after the flood, during the floods and all that. Therefore, he was very well known to the people of all of subdivisions of Sadia.
He pitched his tent in their world, chanting in his heart, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Remove the darkness of poverty, illiteracy, and despair.
2004 বৰ্ষত বহুত এটা প্ৰলয়ংকাৰী বানপানী হোৱাৰ পৰা আমি বহুত দুখত আছিলোঁ। এই দুখৰ সময়ত আমাৰ শান্তিপুৰত কাৰচাং টাকাৰত কাম কৰা আমাৰ ফাদাৰ কে থমাছে আমাৰ এই দুখত পৰা মানুহবিলাকৰ কাৰণে বহুত আগবাঢ়ি কিনি কাম কৰিছিলে আৰু গড়ে প্ৰায় মানুহক চাউল ভিলাইছিলে অনাহাৰিত থকা মানুহবিলাকক পোনপ্ৰথমে আমাক ৰাস্তা খুলি দিলে ফাদাৰে আমাৰ হস্টগাৰ এইবোৰ বনাবলৈও ফাদাৰে সকলোকে তিৰবেল বিলাই আৰু ঘৰ বনাবলৈ মানুহবিলাকে উপায় নাইকিয়া বাঁহ খেৰৰ কাৰণে টকা পইচা আগবঢ়াইছিলে
To equip himself with knowledge and a global perspective, he did his master's in multicultural ministry, specializing in ethnographic research in Berkeley, USA. There, he also built his network of friends who would remain to this day his staunch benefactors. He molded his spirituality, drawing inspiration from Don Bosco, Mother Teresa, Shankardeva, and Mahatma Gandhi. Being a servant leader became his style statement.
In 2001, after all the different kind of experiences that I had in Sadia and in the USA, I was traveling to Dimapur. I met a doctor, Aot Toshi, and in a casual conversation he tells me, only a man of spirituality can do social work. That made me think a lot. Only a man of spirituality can do social work. And since then I began to organize my life with systems, philosophies, persons, thoughts, inspirations to make spirituality an essential part of my service to today's people.
Karsang Takar, started in 2002, was the concretization of his development model. Developed a tribe by building leaders out of youth, dropouts from schools and colleges. Through assiduous and intensive trainings, they were prepared to take on a pivotal role in the development journey of the tribe.
I wrote a letter to father saying that I want to serve the son. I have a hostel. I will leave the hostel if I given a chance to serve the missing community, the missing youth. So he responded me very positively. Great satisfaction that the children, the school dropout after getting training in Karsantakar, there is big lot of changes can be seen in these dropout students. They talk about the developing their societies. They talk about changing the system in the village, existing system. There is that is how we feel, and we were really impressed with the idea of this Father Thomas.
He trained 325 school dropouts in 15 years to become angels of change.
Father mango 1999 dobong riksutak 2003 sondong father ngom training no malagla Guwahati Mulberry NGO kodo ngom weaving training aru design training ikhaisu to bolo malik tagai malagla ngobola 1 বছর ko dungka bolo bosare ko dudakle du 2004 sondok gisalangkula dergaon so father weaving center ko kulilangkula odongo supervisor pa iladung supak pasine dutil dung supak aropang batte pa masudak ngo gai pori mangelasim porine konang pa aru ngok ledilo ngok kampine konang kredem ngo aga supaga luirnane capacity kadak tar kane ngo father ma thank you.
He turned another dream into reality in 2018 by starting Yuva Bandhu in Sadia to give vocational skills training to the underprivileged totally free, thus stepping into the shoes of Don Bosco and serving the poor like Mother Teresa. Intellectuals were invited to highlight the development possibilities in the tribe through research, disseminated through annual research seminars since 1999.
ফাদাৰ থমাছৰ যিবিলাক সেমিনাৰ ICARDৰ জৰিয়তে আহ্বান কৰিছে সেই সকলোবিলাক সেমিনাৰতে মই বেছিভাগ জইন কৰিছোঁ আৰু মই উপস্থিত হৈছোঁ উপস্থিত হৈ মোৰ ইমানেই অভিজ্ঞতা আছে যে ICARDৰ জৰিয়তে মিচিংসকলৰ সাংস্কৃতিক সামাজিক অৰ্থনৈতিক উন্নয়নত বহুতো গুৰুত্বপূৰ্ণ বিষয়বোৰ আলোচনা কৰা মই সেমিনাৰত লগ পাইছোঁ
Make the tribe known through publications like Pro Missing Action and Missing Ayane. Through Ethnic, the annual cultural tourism festival, through its colorful, intricate weaves. Recognition and awards followed nationally and internationally. Newspapers and publications publicized his work. The International Salesian magazine from Rome featured him in 2011. In February 2011, Father Thomas was honored as a social entrepreneur in Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai, during a national conference called E-Preneur. Missing social and cultural organizations looked up to him for inspiration at their events and felicitated him during the meeting of their apex body, the Bane Kebang, in 2014.
হপক্ষৰ বিপক্ষৰ পৰিৱেশতো আপোনালোকে থিৰে লাগি থাকিব পাৰে সফলতা দৃষ্টি নপৰিলেও আপোনালোকে আশা ত্যাগ নকৰে
The district administration of Jorhat honored him on the Republic Day celebrations in 2017. Individuals, organizations, universities, institutes, industries built collaboration. It is to be noted that Father Kalapurekal was given a fellowship by Ashoka, Innovators for the Public, a USA-based organization. Thus, already in 2002, he became one of 250 specially selected social entrepreneurs of India.
I was also initially involved in the discussion on ICARD when Father Thomas was thinking of starting his apostolate for the mission community. And I did feel that he was setting in motion something that was very unique and that would sustain itself because he was putting young people at the center of the narrative of the development of the community. Young people who were otherwise dropouts, educationally, socially. And he has built a whole system and a model which I believe can be replicated by other communities. And I do hope others would emulate what he has started and this model can become something that can continue in other places and other communities. And I do hope it happens soon.
ICARD spread its wings, covering over 550 villages in 11 districts of Assam and 3 districts of Arunachal.
So, as a whole, the ICARD today is actually a real agent for changes in the mission societies. Because through the different programs, different activities started from ICARD, there's a lot of impact in the villages.
A unique model of youth and community work in the Salesian world with over 500 youth groups in as many villages.
Father Thomas was my dog 2002 Jengaimuk St. Paul School. তেতিয়াৰ পৰা 2002ৰ পৰা 2000 এতিয়া বৰ্তমান 2019 লৈকে সুদীৰ্ঘ যিমানখিনি মই অতিবাহিত কৰিলোঁ ফাদাৰ টমাছৰ লগত মোৰ জীৱনত যথেষ্ট প্ৰভাৱ আছে ফাদাৰ টমাছৰ বিশেষভাৱে ব্যক্তিগতভাৱে মোৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত ফাদাৰ টমাছৰ প্ৰতিটো কথা মোৰ জীৱনত ৰেখাপাত কৰে ফাদাৰ টমাছৰ লগত যিহেতু কিছুমান ল'ৰা ছোৱালী আহে তেওঁলোকে আধা শিক্ষা লৈ পেলাই আহে তেওঁলোকে জীৱন কি বস্তু সামাজিক কি বস্তু সমাজক কেনেকৈ ভাল পাব লাগে, কাৰণ তেতিয়ালৈকে মানুহে সকল নিজৰ কথাই চিন্তা কৰে। গতিকে ফাদাৰ থমাছে তেওঁৰ জীৱনটোকেই সমাজৰ কাৰণে দিছে, সমাজৰ কাৰণে কাম কৰি আছে, আৰু তেওঁৰ যিখিনি নীতি আদৰ্শ সেই নীতি আদৰ্শৰে ল'ৰা ছোৱালীবিলাকক তেওঁ প্ৰভাৱিত কৰে।
His latest book, Tanikul, a photo journal of the missing tribe, has been well received in national and international circles. Father Thomas remains a unique Salesian, breaking free of the limitations of tried and tested models.
And he was never scared of taking risks, never afraid to try out new things. He accepted failures as things happened. He also celebrated successes. He gathered a good number of young people around him.
He is a servant leader, visionary, pioneer, and priest. Of deep faith, integrated spirituality, strong convictions, courageous action, relentless work, creative mind, wide network, a man of God for his people, with the Nama Japa resounding in his heart.